Hi there guys, and welcome back to another day. As you can see, it's a bit warmer than it was last time I was there, but if you've seen the last video, I announced that this is my new van, and I sort of half touched upon a bunch of stuff that I'm going to be doing and why, but the main one is getting this engine out. It's tired 2.4 out, so I'm not going to film a wonderful amount of it because it is just undoing bolts and wires and pipes and stuff. Do have to take the drive shafts out, gear linkage, and then just loads of electrical wires, and then just engine gearbox out. So I'm not going to film every single little bit because it will get boring quickly, but I will be taking that front panel off, so it'll probably make my life a little bit easier. Hopefully the last video answered a few questions, because I have been keeping this quiet. In fact, as I record this, I mean, it's currently Thursday the 8th, and Saturday is going to be my first video uploaded, which is the one where I sort of explain where I've been and whatnot. So I am sort of banking quite a few videos at the minute so that I have like a consistent amount. So by the time you're watching this, this is going to be a lot further ahead than it actually is in the time you're watching. But I am so pleased that this is my van, and so pleased that I'm going to be behind the wheel that isn't there at the minute of another T4. I mean, I've got very good ideas with this van and what I want to do and how and whatnot, and I can't wait to be showing you guys. Just want to say thank you to everyone who's reached out and spoken to me and asked me what's going on and don't sell the van. It's very humbling. Thank you, it's very nice to see. But I'm going to stop rambling on. Like I said, I'm not going to film everything because it is literally just taking that tired old 2.4 out. So I might stick you on a little time lapse, and yeah, let's make this not like this anymore. Right, progress has had to hold. I did manage to get a few more gear linkages off, a few more bits and bobs, but Jonathan, which will show you his van later, needs this rock and roll bed. So I need to get this out, and everything that's on top of it out, because he's coming in a bit, wow, a little bit later on. He's coming with his van, and this needs to go in the back of it, because at the minute the back of his van's empty and he needs somewhere to sleep. Let's get this empty. Well, most of it's out. Either balanced on the side or... But look how much room I got in there. I remember in my one, my rock and roll came up to probably about here. This shows you how much the long wheelbase actually makes a difference. But this needs to come out. Don't think it's going to take too much. There's only a bunch of bolts up there, so I'm going to get them out and try and figure out how to maneuver this out. Well, I'm going to have to climb up underneath, because to get them bolts out, I've got to get underneath. As you can probably see, I don't have a wonderful amount of room. Oh, of course there's a spare wheel in the way. Oh, this is going to be more fun than I was hoping. This is fancy. Don't have to lie on the floor. And I've got wheels. There's a 19 up there. Oh, of course there's not 19. There's one there. There's one there. And there's two more a bit further up, pretty much where that wheel is, which is amazing. And then this should be out. And they are 17s. If this works, I'm a fucking genius. Oh, that kind of worked. I shall show you what I've done. Obviously, the bolts are now undone. Obviously, I can't be down there and up on the top at the same time. So, take a little mole grip. Now to stand back to. Well, mole grip's on the top of that bolt. And the underside of the bolt, it's just in there, you can just see it there. There's one. I'm gonna have to remove this wheel. This means these rusty bolts here have to come out to get this wheel off. Oh. That's a good tyre, that. Not a bad tyre, but that's what I got to try and undo. And while I'm underneath here, just for fun, let's get the wheel out, because this isn't going to be needed. There's mostly out, and I got the, I'll show you that in a minute. I need some help first. Well, that was a ting. Had to help Di bleed the clutch on that. Probably didn't get a lot of audio because there was a radio next to it, and obviously I don't want to get done for copyright. Oh, nice. That's come off the roof. But back to doing this. Got the spare wheel out because it doesn't need to be underneath because of clearance issues. Because maybe or maybe not this would be going lower. All the bolts are out. Now, this thing should just come out. Fair bit of room in here. Lots of room for makings. Now, that needs to go back in. That needs to go back in. Stuff on the roof. And this bit. And after that, get back to trying to get that engine out, I guess. Well, that's mostly full up. There's a few bits left on the roof. It's mostly filled back up again. I'm going to go and have something to eat. I'm starving. And then we'll get back onto this. Well, welcome back to a few hours later. We've had some food and chilled out. Managed to get quite a lot of the wire in. Mostly out. There is this one I need to deal with. But we'll deal with that after. I'm currently, there we go, I'm currently undoing the drive shaft. There's our drive shaft disconnected.
3 days later.
Well, I'm not exactly sure where this video last ended, but hi from a few days later. This is very close to coming out now. I've got engine mounts. I did take the drive shafts off. Most of the wiring is unwired, and I know that they did use some of the terminals for the battery because they needed it for Volksfest. Also, Volksfest was sick, but back to the point at hand, this needs to come out. So I want to take this front panel off to make it a bit easier. Like I said, the drive shafts are off. I think, other than just the gear linkage, I've got to undo that. I think, other than possibly a ground or two, this bad boy's ready to come out. So, let's get this panel off. Well, it's been an hour or two later, and as you can see, the crane is out. Got a few more wires off of this, and this thing is pretty much ready to come out. Still got the two mounts at the top there, one at the bottom of the gearbox, which still needs to come out. And then this bad boy should fly out. Hopefully you guys can see, yeah, there it is. That's the gearbox mount. There's a bolt on the inside. just up by there. That is a 21. And there's that monster out. Now hook this up. Got them two to undo there. Them two over there. And I think most of this is all apart. Got that off the gearbox, the clutch. Oh, the exhaust is already off. The drive shafts, they are off, take my word for it. I think most of it is off. There's one way to find out. I'm not 100% sure whether there's a little eyelet down there. There's another one just down there by the gearbox. You can just see it. I'm not sure if they're good enough to take off. I'll ask Di. And then this fucker should come out. Change the position. There's one down here. So that one round the back. Now, them two, and them two, and hopefully this bad boy comes out. I am literally hanging up on the drive shafts. They are disconnected, but for some reason they're not letting go. Need a pry bar. Can I find one? Of course not. Haha. One. Everything I've undone is the power steering line. The one thing left. Bastard. Well, as you probably just seen, this is now completely empty. We are engineless. Actually quite pleased with how it went. Did get stuck up on the drive shaft still, but they were undone. They just needed to be popped off. And the power steering line, that's the only thing I got stuck up on. And I'm actually quite surprised with how little you have to do to get one of these engines out. Drive shafts, gear linkage, bunch of pipes and wires and what have you, and then just the mounts and what have you. It's not really a lot to it. I mean, I did remove a lot more than I probably would if I was just putting another engine back in, the same. But yeah, quite impressed with that. I mean, there's still a few more bits I need to do. The slave for the clutch master, that needs to be changed over. A few other bits and bobs. I want to tart this up a little bit and make it look a bit more nicer. Yeah, there's a few more bits that we'll get into, but I'm quite impressed. Now that we have actually got to this point, I can now get in and get to the bolts for the heater box and a few other bits and bobs, so this can be cleared out. Keeping the pedals in for now just so this can be moved. Obviously same with the steering, just so we can move this if we decide we want to take it into the workshop and potentially do something. So it's been a long old day. Very productive one though. Anyway, hopefully you guys are enjoying this little series and enjoying watching me tackle some very different kind of jobs and turning this clapped out 2.4 into my 2.5 with the heart of my engine. But I'm gonna stop rambling, get myself gone. Thank you very much. As always, thank you very much for all the support and sticking along and watching my dumbass do stuff I probably shouldn't be doing. But thank you very much, guys. As always, you guys are amazing. I'm off. Thank you. Please hit that subscribe button because there's more stupidness to come soon. Thank you very much, and as always, take it easy.